5 Negative Personality Traits of Cancer. Zodiac sign explained. Patient, compassionate, intuitive, and family-oriented. It's hard to think of Cancer as the kind of zodiac sign which would have negative traits. And yet, like any other, there's a lot of bad mixed in with the good. While Cancers can be excellent friends and even better parents, not everything is perfect about them. Their emotions tend to rule them, and while they're always willing to go the extra mile for those they love, they also tend to be very controlling. The more you learn about Cancer and their negative traits, the more you realize they often come from a place of love. Often, though not always, their actions and behaviors have the right intentions, but the execution is far from ideal, thanks in no small part to the characteristics we're about to cover. These are some of the negative personality traits all Cancers share. Number 1. They're manipulative. One of Cancer's worst personality traits is that they can be tremendously manipulative, even if they don't always see it that way. One of the things that makes Cancer such a beloved sign is that they know how to listen, and that means that they actually pay attention to what you say, even offhand remarks you didn't think twice about. While this is a nice attitude to have, it also means that Cancers know precisely what to say and do to get you to do what they want, and they're often shameless about abusing this ability if they think it'll get them what they want. Often, they'll use their manipulative skills to push you towards what they feel is better for you, and while the intention is laudable in a way, it's still manipulation, and we're just not cool with that kind of thing. Number 2. They're overtly emotional. You knew it was coming, so it's better to get it out of the way. Cancers are often referred to as one of the most, if not the most, emotional signs of the zodiac, and with good reason. Their emotions are always right below the surface, ready to bubble up at a moment's notice. Unlike Aries signs, Cancer isn't as obvious about their emotions, but just because they don't explode doesn't mean they don't feel them. Their extreme emotions don't always affect how they express themselves, but also how they react to the world, taking things personally and blowing things out of proportion, even if it's only inside their own heads. Number 3. They're very pessimistic. Perhaps because of their emotional nature, Cancers tend to be very pessimistic, always reaching the worst conclusions and preparing themselves for the worst-case scenarios. On the one hand, this allows them to prepare themselves for disappointments and problems that other people may not have considered. On the other hand, it puts them in a position where they're always expecting the worst, which is just plain depressing. Cancers are a very understanding and empathetic sign, which means that people often go to them to share their woes, but when it comes to asking for actual advice, it's better to go to a sign with a more positive outlook on life. Number 4. They're distrustful. This goes hand in hand with the previous point. Because they tend to be so pessimistic, Cancers tend to assume the worst of people they don't know, particularly when they've been given a reason to do so, real or imaginary. This translates to an attitude of suspicion, where not only are they incapable of taking people at face value, but they'll double-check other people's stories, call friends to get their side of the story, and try to find alternative explanations to what they've been told. While there's nothing wrong with a bit of healthy skepticism, it does grow old after a while, particularly if Cancer suspicions are out of control and they keep unleashing themselves on their friends and family. This particular personality trait is draining for everyone involved. On one hand, living life like everyone is out to get you is just plain exhausting. On the other hand, interacting with someone who just won't take you at your word is draining and can be a hit on one's self-esteem. Number 5. They're unbelievably clingy. Though they don't intend to be, Cancers tend to be very needy and clingy, and this attitude stretches to every aspect of their life. When a Cancer doesn't feel secure in their role in someone else's life, they take their negative characteristics to the next level, becoming a moody, clingy mess that takes everything personally and refuses to see reason. This happens not only with partners, but also with friends and family members. There's no limit to the level of clinginess that a Cancer can experience if they let themselves go down that road. In romantic relationships, Cancers can become jealous and possessive, always suspecting their loved ones of infidelity and betrayal, even when there's no evidence of it. Arriving late to a date, a missed call, texting too often, not texting enough, anything can be used as a weapon by an insecure Cancer. In friendships, Cancers may become convinced that you don't actually want to hang out with them, that you speak behind their back, that you hang out with other friends without telling them, that you only pretend to be their friend out of pity, etc. In families, it's the same deal. They'll assume you think they're bad parents, that you resent them for a mistake they made long ago, that they screwed up your future, you name it. Cancers are incredibly loving and committed partners, friends, and family members. But once they're in a funk and they feel like their place in your life isn't stable, they become the kind of person you want to run away from, which is pretty sad because it only confirms their suspicions, however unfounded they were. The best way of getting Cancer out of their funk is to remind them that you love them and that they're in your life for a reason. Of course, make sure to do that while still maintaining firm boundaries, because when Cancers are in this mood, they'll have no qualms about manipulating you to get their way. The thing about Cancers is that they're so emotional, so loving, and so caring that it can backfire on them spectacularly and turn them from the perfect partner and best friend to an actual nightmare to live with. Their emotion-driven personality makes them very warm, understanding individuals who will be willing to move mountains to help their loved ones. However, it can also make them irrational, particularly when they're feeling insecure about their role in a relationship. Their empathy and unmatched ability to listen to others makes them the person to go to when you have a problem, but also gives them the tools to know how to manipulate others without even trying. The same traits that make them fantastic friends, attentive lovers, and dedicated partners are the traits that make them some of the clingiest people you'll ever meet. And thanks to their pessimistic approach to life, they'll likely go through a bout of insecurity every now and then, no matter what you do. The good news is that a healthy, well-adjusted Cancer will see their irrational suspicions for what they are, and they'll be more likely to take the necessary steps to not fly off the handle when they're feeling insecure. The bad news is that it takes a while to get there. So if there's a Cancer in your life and you want to keep them there, you better prepare to have to reassure them every now and then. They're excellent friends, though, and they're very understanding and dedicated. So as far as we're concerned, they're well worth the effort. No one is perfect, and just like Cancers have their negative traits, so do you. So a little patience goes a long way. Thank you for listening to the episode. Please share, and let us know your thoughts in the comment box.
Thank you for being part of today's horoscope forecast. Your feedback is important for us to improve and provide better insights. If you found our show helpful, please consider rating it. For an uninterrupted, ad-free experience, simply click the link in the description. Your support helps us to continue creating valuable content. Thank you for being here and see you tomorrow.